Welcome back, everyone. Seems like we're all ready to dive deep into Squid Game Season 2.
Definitely.
You've sent in, well, a ton of analyses, summaries, really a whole stack of stuff about the show.
Yeah,
So clearly you're ready to go beyond just, the hype and really dig in.
absolutely.
What I'm seeing here is, you're interested in the psychology of the games, like how those players think.
Right.
And the show's commentary on society.
Mhm.
Like, how does this crazy fictional world, hold up a mirror to our own world?
Yeah.
That's what we're here for. We're not just going to recap the
Yeah.
plot. I mean, you've seen it.
Yes.
We want to unpack what makes this show so captivating and honestly kind of disturbing too, right?
I am.
So we're going to take all those analyses you sent in, super insightful, by the way,
Thanks.
and we're going to really uncover what they tell us about where season 2 might go.
Okay.
All those twists and turns.
Looking forward to it.
But let's start with something that I think really defines Squid Game. You've got these, innocent children's games,
Yeah.
red light, green light, tug of war, all that.
Yeah.
But they're just twisted into, deadly competitions.
Yeah, it's such a crazy contrast. I think it forces us to confront, how dark human nature can get, right?
That's it. That's what sticks with you.
Definitely.
You see these games and you think, oh, yeah, I played that as a kid, all innocent,
Mm-hmm.
But then you see what they become in the show, and it makes you wonder, how far would I go?
Right.
If I was pushed to that brink,
Yeah.
would I still, hold on to my values?
Would you be a good person? Yeah.
Or would I just snap?
Yeah.
Now, a lot of the analyses you sent, they say that this contrast, these games, they're not just, games.
Right.
They're like a commentary on how society is structured.
Absolutely. A lot of people are picking up on that.
They are. What do you think about that?
I think it's spot on. A lot of the sources point out how the games are like a metaphor for, our economic system,
Oh, wow.
It's cutthroat.
Okay, yeah.
And you see that really clearly in the show, how the system, it pits people against each other
Yeah.
in this ruthless competition for everything, really.
Resources.
Resources, money, you name it.
Just like the real world.
Exactly. Like, think about how they portray economic inequality.
Right.
It's brutal.
Yeah, those limited opportunities. And then the huge gap between the rich and the poor.
Yeah. And the games, they highlight that.
They do. It makes you think.
It does.
Now, let's talk about Gi-hun for a second.
Okay.
At the end of season 1, he makes a pretty pivotal decision.
He does.
He chooses not to get on that plane.
Right.
He walks away from, unimaginable wealth.
Yeah, from everything he thought he wanted.
And there's this one psychological analysis you sent. It really stuck with me.
Oh, yeah.
It suggests that his choice wasn't just, rejecting money.
No.
It was deeper.
What was it then?
It was about him, taking back control.
Okay. Yeah.
In a world where he felt totally powerless.
That makes a lot of sense.
Right?
Yeah. I've seen that come up in other sources, too.
Yeah.
Like, he's rejecting the easy way out.
He is.
He's choosing to fight,
Wow.
to confront the system head on.
Even though it's dangerous.
Yeah, even though it puts him at risk.
Which makes his journey in season 2, even more interesting.
It does.
I mean, several sources hint that he's going to try to, dismantle the games from within.
Oh, wow.
What do you think about that?
I think it sets up, a classic David versus Goliath scenario.
Right.
Gi-hun against this massive organization.
The summaries you provided, they mention the front man's back.
Yeah, he's back.
And the salesman.
Oh, right.
And that tells me, Gi-hun's got a really tough fight ahead of him.
For sure.
But then you have all these, new characters joining the mix in season 2.
Oh, yeah.
And one, really caught my eye.
Who's that?
Chil-soo,
Okay.
the boyfriend of the, wait for it, red light, green light doll.
What?
I know, right?
That's wild.
What do you think that means?
I don't know. But it makes me wonder if they're going to explore how the games, how they even started.
Oh, interesting.
Why were they created?
Yeah.
Who benefits from all this brutality?
It's a good question.
And maybe, just maybe, Chil-soo's story, his background, could shed some light on that.
Right. Give us a glimpse behind the curtain
Yeah.
into the organization, the why, the how.
Right.
All a mystery.
A big one.
So that makes me wonder what else will season 2 reveal about, the people behind it all.
Yeah. What about the organization itself?
What have you, picked up from those sources?
A lot of people are speculating that we're going to go deeper this season.
Okay.
Like, we might learn about their history,
Right.
how far their reach goes,
Globally.
maybe even who is at the very top,
Yeah.
pulling the strings.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's exciting.
it
I
is.
mean, to finally get some answers to those burning questions. Yeah.
And knowing this show, those answers, they're probably going to be, well, pretty messed up.
Yeah, dark and disturbing, probably.
Okay, so let's shift gears a bit.
Okay.
Let's talk about the show's impact, I mean, on a global scale.
Okay.
It's been huge.
It has.
What's really struck you about its cultural influence?
It's amazing to see how those traditional Korean games, you know, the ones they play,
Mm-hmm.
they were kind of, well, confined to Korea, right?
Right.
But now, thanks to Squid Game, they're recognizable everywhere.
It's true.
It's like the show's given them a whole new life.
It has.
People are interested. They're playing them all over the world.
It's crazy.
Even real life events inspired by the show.
Like, it's gone beyond the screen.
It has.
That's a testament to how powerful it is, right?
For sure.
I mean, it crosses borders, the themes like debt, trying to get ahead, the pressure to succeed, that's universal.
Absolutely. It resonates with people no matter where they're from.
What do you think about that global appeal? I think it speaks to the human experience.
Okay.
We all face challenges, make tough choices, and have to live with the consequences.
Right.
And Squid Game, it taps into those anxieties,
Yeah.
which makes it relatable, makes you think.
No matter where you are.
Exactly.
And speaking of global appeal, the show has had, well, a massive impact on the actors' careers.
It has.
You sent that one article that really delves into Hwang Dong-hyuk's story.
Right.
She was a successful model before the show,
Yeah.
but now she's an international star.
Huge star.
What really stood out to you about her journey?
Honestly, what struck me is how her success, it shows the power of Squid Game
Wow, yeah.
as a cultural phenomenon.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it propelled the whole cast into this global spotlight.
It has.
Opened up so many opportunities, and now a wider audience can see how talented they are.
That's true. And it makes you think about the challenges they must have faced, like, while filming those intense game scenes.
Oh, absolutely.
Some sources mention, like, the physical and mental demands of playing those characters, really getting into their heads.
Yeah, one behind-the-scenes article I read, it talked about how dedicated the cast was to their roles.
Oh, wow.
Like, they went through this really intense physical training.
No kidding.
Yeah, and they spent a lot of time, like, really digging in to the psychology of their characters.
That's interesting.
Making sure they understood, what made them tick.
Right, right.
And you can see that, when you watch the show.
Yeah,
It feels real raw.
it does. It does. And speaking of the games, season 2, well, it's promising even more intensity.
Oh, yeah. Even more intense than the first
Yeah,
season.
more like the challenges are going to be, they're going to be insane.
Wow. What have you, heard about the new games?
Well, they're keeping the specifics under wraps.
Right, of course.
But several sources, they suggest that, well, they're going to up the ante
Okay.
in terms of, like, the psychological manipulation
Oh, interesting.
and the strategy. It's going to be next level.
So even more mind games.
Oh, yeah. Like, we might see games that force players to, like, face their deepest fears
That's scary.
or betray their alliances.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's going to get dark.
That's intense.
And one source even suggested that they might incorporate, get this, augmented reality.
What? Augmented reality.
I know, right?
Like blurring the lines between virtual and real.
Exactly.
That's a really cool idea.
It is. And it would definitely, fit with the show's exploration of technology, right?
Yeah, totally. Like how technology impacts society.
Yeah, and if the games become, well, even more immersive, even more high-tech,
The stakes get even higher
way higher.
for the players.
Oh, definitely. I mean, physically and psychologically.
Right. I mean, it messes with your head.
It does. So, we've got these big-name actors joining the cast for season 2.
Oh, yeah. Like who?
Yim Si-won,
Okay.
Kam Ha-no,
I know him.
and Park Sung-hoon.
Wow. Big names.
Yeah, and their roles, well, they're already sparking a lot of speculation.
Of course.
There's this one analysis. It suggests that Yim Si-won, he's known for playing these, like, morally ambiguous characters.
Right.
And they think he might be this cunning player who manipulates everyone to get ahead.
Oh, interesting.
What do you think about that?
I think that's a real possibility.
Yeah.
It could add a whole new layer of like psychological warfare to the games.
Oh, absolutely.
Just imagine like a character who's all about deception.
Yeah.
So discord, using people to get what they want.
So basically chaos.
Pretty much.
Now, Kang Han-woo, he's usually known for playing like the hero.
Yeah, the good guy.
The good guy. But one source thinks he might actually be an ally for Gi-hun.
Really? That's unexpected.
I know, right?
That would be an interesting twist.
It would, wouldn't it?
Yeah, to have someone who actually believes in Gi-hun's mission.
Yeah.
To take down the games from the inside.
It would give him like much needed support.
Definitely.
Because it's going to be a dangerous fight.
Oh, for sure.
But, we have to remember, this is Squid Game.
Right.
And even those with good intentions, well, they can easily, crack under pressure.
Oh, yeah.
Make some tough choices.
That's what the show does, right?
It does.
It shows you how even the best people can be tempted.
To do bad things.
Yeah. By greed, by self-preservation.
And then there's Park Sung-hoon.
Okay, what about him?
He's known for playing villains.
Oh, right.
And a lot of sources think he might be a major opponent for Gi-hun.
Oh, wow.
Possibly even working with the front man.
Really? Working directly with the front man?
Yeah. Which would make him, well, a pretty formidable enemy.
Definitely. Especially if he's like really high up in the organization.
That's what they're thinking.
Wow. I mean, that would make him incredibly dangerous for Gi-hun.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Gi-hun's trying to bring the whole thing down.
He is.
And this guy's, he's protecting it.
It's a clash of titans.
It is. It is. Now, the front man himself, I mean, he's still shrouded in mystery.
Yeah, we still don't know much about him.
Do any of the sources give us any clues about what season 2 might reveal about him?
A few sources think they might delve into his past.
Okay.
Explore what turned him into the front man.
The guy in charge.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We know he won the games, right?
Yeah.
But why did he join the organization?
Yeah.
What did he have to sacrifice to get there?
And let's not forget, he's got a brother, right?
Oh, right. The detective.
What if their paths collide in season 2?
Oh, man.
That would be intense.
That would be something else.
I mean, it'd be on opposite sides of this whole deadly game.
I know. It would be heart-wrenching.
Totally. They'd have to confront their past, their loyalties.
Everything. All those choices that led them to this point.
It's like one of the core themes of the show, right?
Yeah. How our relationships shape our choices.
Exactly. How far would you go to protect the people you love?
That's the question.
Even if it means, doing things you wouldn't normally do.
Compromising your values.
And you see that throughout the show, not just with the front man and his brother,
Right.
but with so many of the players.
They form those alliances.
Out of desperation or maybe even genuine connection.
Yeah.
But those alliances, they rarely end well.
No, they don't.
It's like the games are designed to exploit us,
Yeah, our weaknesses,
Weaknesses.
our need for connection.
And they turn us against each other.
Which is kind of a reflection of how our own society works.
Yeah, you're right. We're always told to put ourselves first.
Yeah.
To succeed no matter what.
Even if it means, stepping on others.
Exactly. Even if it means sacrificing our relationships.
Or our morals.
It's a disturbing parallel, for sure. It is. Okay, let's talk about power and control.
Yeah, okay.
What really stood out to you from the sources about that theme?
There was one article that really argued that Squid Game, it's like a critique of how power can corrupt people.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and how it can, desensitize them.
Okay.
The VIPs, the ones watching the games,
Yeah.
they represent that danger.
Oh.
Unchecked wealth and privilege.
They're so removed from the consequences.
They are.
That they just see human suffering as entertainment.
Yeah, it's like a show to them.
That's disturbing.
It is.
And it makes you wonder about us, the viewers.
Right?
Are we becoming desensitized too?
It's a tough question.
It is. It is. Are we too quick to judge the players without thinking about what led them there?
Yeah, without considering the whole system.
Right.
That maybe pushed them into these games in the first place.
That's a really good point.
And the show, it forces us to examine, how we consume entertainment.
Yeah.
How much violence are we okay with?
How much do we need?
Exactly. It's easy to get caught up in the thrill of the games.
It is.
But Squid Game, it reminds us that there are real people behind this.
Right.
Real human costs.
And that brings us back to the big question, Ray.
What's that?
If we were in Gi-hun's shoes, what would we do?
Oh, man.
Would we fight the system,
Knowing the risks.
knowing the risks? Or would we just focus on surviving, on protecting the people we care about?
Even if it meant crossing some lines.
Yeah. There's no easy answer.
There isn't. Squid Game, it doesn't give you those easy answers.
It doesn't.
It presents these complex dilemmas.
Yeah.
It makes you really think about human nature.
It does. Now, as we're, all waiting for season 2,
Yeah.
I think it's important to appreciate the artistry of the show.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not just, a thrilling story. It's visually stunning.
It is. It is.
The sets, the costumes, the cinematography, it all adds to this unique atmosphere.
One of the sources described it as like a collision of childhood wonder and dystopian nightmare.
Wow, that's a great way to put it.
Yeah, the colors, those intricate sets, and that juxtaposition of, playful imagery with brutal violence. It's really striking.
Yeah.
It creates this visual language that's
Yeah.
both, captivating and disturbing
Yeah.
at the same time.
And the music.
Oh, the music.
Look, so haunting.
It's perfect for the show.
It really is. It adds to the tension in every scene.
Totally. It's another example of how Squid Game, it just goes beyond language and culture. It
Yeah.
creates this immersive experience that hits you on a gut level.
It does.
And the music, it adds another layer of emotion to the story.
Right.
It underscores like the player's desperation,
Yeah.
the fear, those little moments of hope.
Right.
It's another way the show pays attention to detail.
It really does.
The creators, they use every element
Mm-hmm.
to tell this compelling emotional story.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
We've looked at the psychology and the social commentary,
Mhm.
talked about the global impact, how it's affected culture and the actors' careers.
Yeah,
And we've explored some potential twists and turns for season 2.
we have.
Now, as we wrap up, I want to bring it back to those core themes
Okay.
and what they say about our own lives.
Right.
We talked about how the show, it really makes you confront some uncomfortable truths about ourselves,
Yeah.
about the systems we live in.
Right.
It makes you think about what you value,
Mhm.
how far you would go to survive,
To stay alive.
and the choices you might make when things are really, really bad.
When the odds are stacked against you.
Exactly. Now, one of the
Yeah.
sources you sent in, it argued that even though the show is pretty bleak
Yeah.
about human nature,
Yeah. It can be.
it does offer a little bit of hope.
Oh.
It suggests that even when things are awful,
Yeah.
there's still the potential for connection,
Mm-hmm.
for compassion,
Okay.
and for pushing back against those forces that are trying to control you.
Right. The forces that want to keep you down.
That's what stuck with me. I mean, the show doesn't sugarcoat anything.
No, it doesn't.
It shows you how bad people can be.
The dark side.
But then you have those moments of human connection.
Yeah.
Maybe they're fleeting,
Wreath.
but they stand out.
They do.
Like, think about Gi-hun and Oh Il-nam,
Right.
or Si-byuk and Ji-young.
That was a powerful connection.
It was. And those moments, they remind you that even in the darkest places, there's still empathy.
And solidarity.
People coming together.
It's like a little flicker of light
Yeah, it is.
in all that darkness.
It really is. And it shows, the writers, they get it.
They get the human experience.
That we're complicated.
We are.
We can be kind.
Mm-hmm.
And we can be cruel.
Yeah, it's true.
And Squid Game, it doesn't tell you which side will win,
No.
but it does say that the choices we make, they matter.
Especially in those moments of crisis.
Yeah, when everything's on the line.
Yeah.
Now, one of the philosophical analyses you sent, it looked at Gi-hun's decision to go back to the games in season 2.
Okay.
And the author, they argued that it's not just about revenge
Oh, interesting.
or even about, taking down the organization.
It's deeper than that.
They said it's about Gi-hun trying to find his humanity again
Wow.
after everything he's seen, everything he's been through.
After being dehumanized by the games themselves.
Exactly. What do you think about that interpretation?
I think it's really insightful.
Yeah,
It adds another layer to Gi-hun's character.
it does.
It shows he's not just, a piece in this game.
Right.
He's a person who's struggling with what he's done.
With the weight of it all.
Yeah. Trying
Yeah.
to find meaning in a world that's shown him, well, the worst of humanity.
It makes you wonder, can someone like that, someone who's seen so much brutality, can they ever really, escape it?
That's a good question.
Right. And I think that's what season 2 is going to explore.
That tension
Yeah.
between the darkness and the light.
Can get him come back from that.
Can he find redemption?
And the sources also hint that season 2 might give us more insight into the front man.
Oh, okay.
His
yeah.
motivations.
Like backstory.
Yeah, like what made him the way he is.
Right.
I mean, he's such a fascinating character.
He is. We know so little about him.
But he represents something,
What's that?
that pull of power.
Okay.
How it can draw you in.
How can change you?
And by learning about his past, maybe we can understand the forces behind the games.
The people who keep him going.
Yeah. So, as we wrap up this deep dive into Squid Game,
Yeah.
I keep coming back to this idea of hope. It's easy to feel, well, kind of overwhelmed by the show.
I get it.
It's dark.
It's not exactly uplifting.
But do you think there's a message of hope in there somewhere?
I do.
Me too.
I think it's in those moments of resistance.
Okay.
When people connect.
Yeah.
When they refuse to give up on their humanity.
Right.
Gi-hun, he chooses to fight back.
He does.
Even though he knows it's going to be hard.
It might be impossible.
Yeah. But it shows that even against all odds, the human spirit can endure.
That's a good note to end on.
It is.
So, as you watch season 2, pay attention to those little acts of defiance, those moments of connection, the things that shine through the darkness.
The glimmers of hope.
Because they remind us that even in the worst situations, there's always a chance.
A chance for what?
For hope,
Okay.
for change, for something better.
Got a better future.
And that's what makes Squid Game so, so powerful.
It is. It's more than just entertainment.
Right.
It's a reflection of us, our society, the choices we make.
The good and the bad.
And it stays with you, even after it's over.
It does.
Makes you question the world.
Makes you question everything.
And I'm sure season 2, it's going to continue to do that.
Oh, I think so.
With those complex characters, the intense games.
And those themes that really get under your skin.
Squid Game, it's an experience.
It is. And we're all in for the ride.
We are.